Uh, Psychology is a very important science to understand happiness and unhappiness. Western psychology is not very advanced because it does not understand the construction of the psyche itself. Uh, my findings through my life, meditation, spirituality, and so forth, I found a completely different structure to the human psyche. First, psychology has not established the existence of the soul, which is at the center of the psyche. The soul is the beneficiary or the victim of the life of its faculties. The soul has four big, equally important faculties. There is the head for reason, the heart for emotions, the animal for passions, and the physique for power. All these faculties compete for the attention of the soul. The soul usually has one favorite faculty, which I call the master faculty, and makes other faculties slaves of that master faculty. This is the standard structure of almost every human being. Some humans are intellectual, some humans are emotional, some humans are animal-like, some humans are physical. Right? Whether white or black, it has nothing to do with race. You find souls of this nature in every single race. So the basis of depression is a divided self. What happens is that there's one faculty that becomes a master and three others that become slaves. And some become extremely badly ill-treated slaves. So if the heart dominates the psyche, the head is impoverished or dominated, the animal is dominated, and the physique is dominated. Sometimes the domination is so strong that the slave faculty is undernourished, unattended by the soul. It's enslaved by the soul and other faculties. It doesn't grow. It stays a child. It stays a dwarf. And this breeds very strong depression coming from that faculty, a rage that can come from that faculty that can even turn criminal because it's so enraged. There's a rebellion that takes place in a slave faculty, just like in real life. When there's a slave, there's a rebellion. Faculties don't like to be slaves. They like to have equal opportunity to enjoy life. But most humans enjoy one faculty out of four, and the soul grows through one faculty only. We don't have a civilization that grows the soul as a whole, that grows all the faculties. The solution to a divided self, a divided soul, is a united soul, which means if a faculty is enslaved, it has to become de-enslaved. It has to be given food, attention. It has to heal, and it has to grow into adulthood. All these faculties can grow into adulthood or remain a child. You can have a person who is 60 years old, 70 years old with a master faculty in the emotions or reason or passion, and a faculty that has remained a child for 70 years. A crippled child at that. Imagine having a little kitten that is not allowed to grow, that stays a kitten for its entire life, an enraged, depressed kitten. That's where the depression comes from, and that's why depression in humanity is very, very strong. The medications for depressions are serious. The suffering is serious. A lot of the suffering comes from this master-slave faculty relation in the human soul. A slave faculty lives in a penitentiary. It can't move. It can't ask for food or nourishment or enjoyment. It is forbidden. Only the master faculty gets what it wants. This contrast, this division creates the internal conflicts within the human that can be stronger than suffering coming from outside sources. basically we can become our worst enemy because of duality. We split our personality by making one faculty king or queen faculty, and others slave faculties. This conflict can turn into a nightmare. So how do you resolve this problem? How do you resolve slave faculty problems? You have to resolve master problems as well. The head faculty, the master faculty, whichever one it is, has to cease to be master. The soul has to become the master of the self, and the faculties have to be balanced or equal. So this is a very difficult task. It could take decades to resolve these problems. It's not just, undwarfing the slave faculty. It's also reducing the arrogance of the master faculty. Western psychology doesn't work with these principles. That's why Western psychology, for the most part, is a failure.